What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Chris and Tim podcast. When I started the intro, Chris was sitting right there. Now he's gone. There he is. Now he's back. What up, Chris?
What's going on?
Another great day. It was a long day for me. Man, for some reason this week is just a long week of work. I feel like it's already Friday or something. It's just a long, drug out week. Not sure what's up. But anyway, what up, Red Wings? Says, what's up, Tim? What's up, Jairus? How's it going, man? Thanks for stopping on by. Hopefully we sound okay. And how was your week today, or this week, Chris?
It was all right.
It was all right?
Yeah, it was all right.
Every week. Awesome, cool. Well, a little announcement. I finally downloaded Madden 22, so some of those streams may be coming down the pike. As I said, it's a long day, so I don't know if I'm going to start it this week, maybe start it next week. I don't know. But I played a little bit last night just to get used to it so I didn't completely embarrass myself. I hadn't played Madden in probably a year and a half or 2 years or something, and that was even one time. And then before that, I don't know when the last time I played Madden, so I had to learn a little bit again. But it is purchased on my computer, played a little bit, and I feel like I got a little something to go off of for when I start streaming it. All right. You ready for to talk about this trade deadline coming up in, 6 days now? I think it's Tuesday is the trade deadline.
Yep.
All right. Deshaun Watson. There's been a lot of talks about where he is going to end up. It appears that he has now said that he is only waiving his no-trade clause to go to Miami. Do you think Washington can any way, shape, or form get him out of that? Or is that pretty much a done deal in your mind?
They wanted to. I mean, they said they already agreed on the terms, so I think nobody can make an offer. Unless they just put that out there that so somebody can rush and try to make an offer. Unless that's what that was all about. But
weren't they saying like they're looking for teams to
no
Miami's offer?
Today they said they agreed on the terms already. They just putting it on hold. That's what I read today. They said they just putting it on hold until they figure out what's up with Deshaun Watson's legal situations, but it's agreed upon.
Yep, so, there it is. Report. Dolphins, Texans have agreed on Watson trade, but issues remain. So it's all but done. Like literally all but done. Interesting. I missed this. The last I heard is that he only waived the no trade clause to go to Miami, but I didn't hear that was official. So yeah, great point, Buzz. Where's Tua going? Is Tua coming here, or is another team looking to trade?
That team is definitely looking to trade for him. He can't stay.
Who else would be looking for him? I'm curious. Like, does
they
a team
maybe
like
Denver?
Maybe Denver. What about a team like
the Saints would make a ton of sense.
That's what I was about to say. What about the Saints? Because then they don't have to draft one next year.
Because that's basically Drew Brees' comparison anyway, so it makes a ton of sense for them to go after him.
And they have a ton of pieces on the defensive side of the ball that they could unload. You know what I mean? Like offensively, they need a lot of help, but defensively, they could offload a piece or two.
I don't know. I know he's gone. I just don't know where.
Tua's getting screwed. It ain't his fault. Injury-prone receivers, a head coach who knows nothing about offense, and 3 different play callers. Yeah, that is a weird thing. I remember making a video on that this offseason that they decided to go with 2 offensive coordinators for this team, which was really strange. I don't know if anybody had ever done that before, but not a head coach who's offensive-minded and an offensive coordinator. No, literally 2 offensive coordinators, which was just a really strange dynamic. And clearly, whatever they're doing down there, it ain't working too good because they're 1-6 right now, or something like that. Like, yeah, it's not looking good for Miami.
So Denver's in there. The Saints up in there. I'm sure we are in there. Nah, Pittsburgh not gonna want to make the deal. They got Haskins.
So Haskins. So
But
I
I'm pretty.
repeat,
Those are
Pittsburgh.
pretty much
Just like
the
that.
three teams, the only three teams. But he's going
Yeah.
somewhere.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to think of. Is there
Maybe
anybody
they
else?
said the Lions too.
Oh, the Lions are an interesting one. What
So I
about some
mean,
crazy nonsense going to Seattle, and then they offload Russell Wilson next year?
nah, I doubt that. They ain't got no.
Oh.
They ain't well. Tua may not be. I mean, you might not recoup too much from Tua at this point because he's probably disgruntled by now.
Oh, 1,000%.
So they know
1,000%
you
he's
want
upset.
that. So the most you probably gonna get is a fourth, maybe a third.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not interested in Tua
I kick
for
the
us,
tires.
but you kick the tires.
But then again, it's like I don't want to kick the tires because it's like I believe in Heineke. So it's just like it'd be like a kind of a disaster. If they was gonna do it, they should have been did it.
Because then it like opens you up. Like, what are you gonna do in the draft next year? Are you just riding with Tua? Are you taking a? Because what if
That's
Tua
why I
comes in?
think
Is I don't know. Like he
you
struggles,
would
but
have to
then
start them right away.
but
And
also
that's
like
the
he has
thing.
the built-in excuse. It's a new uh playbook. It's a new this. It's a new system. He's just got here. He had no training camp. Washington doesn't have their second receiver. They don't have Logan Thomas. Like he has like built-in excuses for if he doesn't jump out the gate balling, he will
I
like
mean,
he's
I
going to
don't
have
think
a built-in excuse of like, oh well, you have to give him time. You can't just use him for 9 games and say screw you.
you can see a lot in 9 games. He does still have Terry.
Yeah,
He has a top 5, top 10 O line. He got enough, but I don't at this point. I really don't because it's Heineke's playing well to me, so I don't see it making any sense right now.
yeah, I don't think so either. And I do think I hope we're out on the Tua sweepstakes, but then again, I can't put anything past this organization. I don't know who they're going for. They've made moves for like every other quarterback, right? Like so
Even
they're
Jared Goff. So
yeah yeah okay. Enough said. All right. Is there any other trades? So, like, let's ask this better question: are we buyers or sellers next week? Are we looking to add pieces, try to make a playoff push, or are we going to try to maybe sell off some pieces? And if we are going to sell off some pieces, who do you think is even
we both.
possible to sell off?
You should be doing both. I'm getting rid
Both.
of Tim Settle right now.
Offload
It's a
Tim
perfect.
Settle.
It's a perfect
Interesting.
time to offload him and get something for him before he go over to the off season. I'm looking to offload Deron because from what I'm hearing, people saying they're not gonna pay Deron. They may be right. Now I'm looking to offload Brandon. So Brandon, Deron, and Settle and Kendall, they all buy.
If you wanted to keep Duran, a way you could keep Duran is offloading Matt Ioannidis.
No,
Matt
no,
Ioannidis
because I
older.
still believe Matt's the best defensive lineman we got. It's just taking them time. No,
That's fake news. The best one is
I'm,
John Allen. It ain't even
John
close.
Allen is okay, but I don't
He's
think
a
he's better
beast.
than Matt.
He's a beast.
But I'm not offloading Matt Ioannidis. That's just stupid. I'm gonna re-up him because it's gonna be cheaper to re-up him than it will be Deron.
Matt.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably. Especially with the injury history.
but
But I
I
would
could get a
rather
second
keep
for him.
Duran if possible. Like I would rather keep Allen and Duran rather than Matt.
No,
Matt's been banged up a few times. I
I
don't
can
know,
get
man.
more from Deron, and you're not gonna pay him anyway. You may not pay him anyway, and if it comes at a point where you don't pay him and let him go for nothing, you're idiots. So let him go now. Let him go now. Don't
You may
wait.
be able to get a decent amount. You're probably right, to be honest.
Him and
What
Settle.
is it? Buzz says Tua is too much of a professional to show his frustrations, but I'm sure he is happy. I take him here. Taylor's a good backup, but he's not a franchise/starting
I think
quarterback.
he's starting quarterback.
I agree that he's not a starting quarterback. I've seen enough that I love
I
him as a
agree.
backup.
I
Spot
disagree.
starter, a spot starter.
I think
He's
he's a
awesome.
starter. I think he's a starter.
No, you're crazy. That's why you want to draft a
I
quarterback.
think he's
But
starter.
anyway, but
That doesn't necessarily mean he's not a starter. Just because I want to draft a quarterback. I want Ritter, period. Because I just like him better than everybody. I don't care who. If it was Patrick Mahomes, I still want Ritter. That's how much I like him.
Fair enough. But to Buzz's point though, I do like his personality. He seems like a good dude, and like he seems like he would be a good like face of the franchise. And my problem is his play on the field, and I don't really
That's
care
not his
for him
fault.
as a player.
It's not his
So
fault.
I
I
know a lot
like
of
what
people
I
are
see
saying
him from.
excuses, but last year, remember, they were an 11-5 football team, and he wasn't very good then either. So or 10-6
He
football team.
wasn't supposed to be. People keep forgetting that he
No,
wasn't supposed to play.
he was supposed to be great, but he just wasn't supposed to play because of injury. But he was healthy,
Exactly.
so he was able to play, and he should have been able to play.
He didn't know the playbook.
What? You've been there for 7 months at that point. How do
He
you not know
was
the playbook?
rehabbing. That's the point. He was supposed to redshirt. He wasn't supposed to play.
So you're giving him
Meaning
an
he
excuse
didn't
of not
train.
studying the playbook?
He didn't train.
He
You
didn't train
threw him
what?
out there prematurely. He had no training to work on his actual game. He was just rehabbing his hip. And you say, you know what? Screw it. Let's throw him out there. That's not his fault they threw him out there. That's the team's fault. And you threw him out there with no line, no run game, no receivers. Then this
Well,
year,
with all those problems, Ryan Fitzpatrick went like what? Had what 3 losses all
Ryan
year,
Fitzpatrick didn't play that well. He played okay. They was winning because of
and
the
they were
defense.
winning.
Because of the
Right?
defense.
Yes,
They're
and that's
suck
why they
now.
beat the Rams.
They don't have no defense no more for whatever reason. And their offense is even worse than last year. So you spent off. First of all, you should never drafted Jalen Waddle that high when he's out here dropping passes left and right. And then Will Fuller, you signed him, he's not there. Devontae Parker can't stay healthy. All you have is Gesicki with no run game.
Jalen Waddle was a complete disaster of a pick. They thought Jamar Chase was going to be there. They gambled everything on Cincinnati taking offensive line, and they got screwed. But anyway, all right. So interesting discussion. And honestly, just to end this point, and you can say something if you want. I honestly don't really see us making any moves because I don't think they want to get rid of a guy like Duran, and I don't think anybody else is worth grabbing. Like Tim Settle would be nice, but you're not getting a lot for him, and I don't think they're going to make any moves because I don't think anybody is really worth it.
It doesn't matter. You're not going to get nothing for him anyway next year. So trade him and get something. Add on a 6th, or add on a 5th. I know a lot of contenders that are trade for Tim Settle right now that are glad to give you a 4th. Gladly. Because that's how desperate contenders are. That's what you do. You trade them to contenders. Mm-hmm. They'll call for Tim Settle in a heartbeat. You let him. And I believe some teams line up for Brandon. The Bears surely will line up for Brandon. There's no way in the way you can't tell me they wouldn't. Did you see Justin Fields last game? And how he was getting beat the crap out of all season. They would trade for Brandon in a heartbeat.
Well, they don't want to get rid of Brandon. They should have got rid of Brandon in the offseason, but they didn't.
Well, you need to get rid of him now. They don't let him walk for nothing. You're not going to pay him anyway.
Anything worth anything, they don't want to get rid of it. And that's what sucks. But I agree, get rid of Brandon. I agree, get rid of Tim Settle. I agree, get rid of Matt Ioannidis. I agree, get rid of some other pieces. I think that there could be pieces that, like, on a couple of pieces that they could get rid of, but they like those guys, and they're not getting rid of. But you're not getting rid of a guy like Will Jack as much as you want to. You're not getting rid of a guy like Kendall Fuller as much as you may want to. You're not getting rid of a guy like Landon Collins as much as you may want to. Like, nobody's coming for these guys.
Somebody will come for Kendall Fuller. There's no way you can tell me that they're not. Somebody's coming for Kendall Fuller. They need some. You put Kendall. Listen. I don't care what you can get for him. Just get something. That's my point. I don't care. Listen, Brandon, I simply trade him straight up for Allen Robinson. I've been said that. Simply trade him straight up. Contract match. We need another receiver to begin with. Because apparently, these guys that we got right now outside of Terry, we can't depend on at all. But that would be my trade. And it makes sense for the Bears because they ain't got no O-line. Or I trade him to the Jets and see what I can get from them. Because they ain't got nothing either. I maybe get Elijah Vera Tucker. Bring him over here. Or something.
All right. On to the Packer game discussion. And it was sad. 24-10, Washington goes down to the Green Bay Packers. What did you think of the game, and what are your thoughts, overall thoughts, and we'll get into more discussions on other things.
I was encouraged. Happy.
Encouraged.
Defense played good. Offense moved the ball that well. Scott Turner had his best play call of the game outside of that stupid quarterback sneak. He had a great call game. They unleashed Heineke the way they're supposed to. We just couldn't punch the ball in. That was the problem. We could punch the ball in, we would have came out that game victorious.
Mm-hmm.
Came out. Chase Young looked like he's starting to do a little something or show some kind of life. Montez is still an idiot because I don't know why he jumped on that Aaron Rodgers sack, but they get to the quarterback. Landon Collins looked like the old Landon just at linebacker. Jameis showed signs of life. Benjamin St. Jude is an animal. And Cam Curl's a beast, and Kendall is terrible.
All right, I kind of want to talk about this. I don't see what other people are seeing when they tell me that the defense played particularly well. And here's why. In the first half, you had nearly an 8-minute drive to start the game. You allowed them to get a 4th and 3 for a touchdown. The next drive, you did get your 3 and out. That was the one good drive in the first half. The next drive, you allowed a 10-play, 52-yard drive, 6 minutes off the clock. So 2 out of 3 drives are over 6 minutes. Luckily, we blocked the field goal. And then at the end of the half, we allow a 2-minute drive, 72 yards, and 2 minutes and 43 seconds for a touchdown. The offense only gets 3 touches because the defense just gets walked on. Then we start the next drive with the fumble, and 3 plays later, we allow them to score another touchdown. So 3 out of the first 4 drives end up as touchdowns. Out of the first 5 drives end up as a touchdown. One of them is a blocked field goal, but still in range of a field goal. Then at that point, Green Bay just took the gas, pedal off their foot off the gas is what I'm trying to say. They started running the ball more. They just tried to kill the clock. Aaron Rodgers was not needing to do anything because they're up by 17 points in the fourth quarter. And, we got 1 turnover. That was a fumble when we were down by 17. Cool. But the defense, to me, there was a couple of things that, okay, they did a little bit better, but they still were 6 for 12 on 3rd down, 1 for 1 on 4th down. So you could basically say that's 7 for 13. There was a lot of stuff that we still have trouble in the back end and coverage. I think that Aaron Rodgers went 27 for 35. That's still a really good clip. And I think a lot of this game, while, again, we still allowed 20 points again, but I think it was more of, okay, our offense couldn't do jack squat, and then Green Bay just took their foot off the gas and called it a day. So what is it about this game that you think that was so encouraging as a defensive side?
They was balling out there. They looked great. The pass rush waking up. Linebackers making plays. The only time they get something is either on Danny Johnson or Kendall Fuller. Every time you take a player off the field, it's one less player. The team gets better and better. Will Jack's off the field, or we going to eat on Kendall? Kendall needs to get off the field, and we'll be okay. That's my point. Secondary, our coverage getting better.
At least better?
At least on one side of the field.
I will say that there was a couple of times where in this game you finally saw, and I think Ron also touched on this, but you did see it while you were watching the game. You finally saw the defensive line and the secondary finally do well on the same play, right? It's not like, okay, the defensive line got pressure, but then the coverage got loose, or the defensive line's getting no pressure, the coverage looks good, but then he just buys enough time to get a completion, right? There was a few times during the game you saw both come together, which was nice to get pressure on Aaron Rodgers, whether he got sacked or he had to get rid of the football. Those two things were somewhat encouraging, but 3 out of your first 5 drives are touchdowns, and one of them that's not a touchdown was a 10-play, 52-yard that got blocked in a field goal. So in theory, out of the first 5 drives, they should have had 24 points, and that's horrible.
They should have had 14 points. Like I told you, the defense really gave up 14 points. At the end of the day, I don't know what you watched, but I was very encouraged from what I seen from the defense. And I believe that they are a Denver Broncos game away from putting this defense all the way together, and they can be the defense that we always thought they can be in the beginning of the season. They are one game away, a 132 glove game away from taking that defense and riding it right on to where we're supposed to ride it on to. We did.
I'm rooting for it. I'm rooting for it, but there's still some things defensively that, and you know what, like. Yes, we're going against Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so there's that point too. Maybe if the defense played how they played and we're going against Teddy Two Glove, maybe they don't score 3 touchdowns and have 2 6-minute drives in the first half.
Good. I don't know what you're seeing.
I'm seeing a defense that allowed 3 out of 4 drives in the first half to have 2 touchdown drives and another one that was lasted over 6 minutes. Couldn't get off the field.
First off, the Jack Del Rio was it was his fault on the touchdown, so we can just blame him for that. I'm not blaming the defense for that. Chase Young is not a zone linebacker or whatever they try to make him out to be. That was Jack Del Rio's fault. That's Jack's fault. So let's blame that on Jack Del Rio. The push off on Robert Tonyan, that's a push off. What's the other touchdown they had?
Alan Lazard before the
okay, that was good defense. He just caught it over Danny Johnson. What you want him to do? It was better offense. That's 3 touchdowns right there. And you all got a good excuse for each and every last one of them. Jack Del Rio in the first one. The second one is a push off. The third one was just a good play. So really, they only gave up 7.
I'm not saying that Jack Del Rio making a bad play call excuses the defense, because that's a big problem we've had all year long. Is a lot of times situational play calling for Jack Del Rio has been horrific.
Listen,
really bad.
It's a lot to be positive about with this team after that game. I don't know if you're going to be positive, but I got a lot to be encouraged about, and I feel good that we're going to be wound up 10-7.
Everybody's saying the defense only allowed 14 points, 17 points. Everybody does realize the Green Bay Packers took their foot off the gas. Like, if this is a 24-21 game, Aaron Rodgers is going to continue to sling it on us all over the field.
I don't want to
put pressure on this defense. They started running the football and they didn't need to do as much.
We locked down Devontae Adams. He didn't do much. Aaron Jones got locked up. Didn't do much.
Yes, we could have blew
the Packers out.
Also, Devontae Adams had 6 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown. That's not a bad day.
No, it's a bad day if you watch the game.
On only 7 targets because they quit throwing to him. Like, as far as they didn't need to throw that.
He was locked up.
They were running the football in the second half because their offense was garbage. You know what? Let's go to our offense. Let's go to the offense. Okay. So, obviously, I don't think that we lost this game because of defense. Obviously, that's outrageous. It's crazy. No. This game was clearly lost for lack of execution in the red zone. All right? So I just want to let everybody know that I criticize the defense there, but obviously this game lays on the hand of the offense and mainly Heinicke in a lot of key situations, and it sucks. And also, of course, we had Leno allow that sack fumble. That was unfortunate. We had that horrible interception from Heinicke in the red zone. The dive that he shouldn't have dove, blah, blah, blah. What are you seeing? The Terry McLaurin drop, of course.
Touchdown, by the way, after the fact. That's none of my business.
Yeah, but he should have never even been a question mark because he should have walked into the end zone.
They said it was a touchdown after the game.
What does that do for me?
Zippo. It still was a touchdown. So
Zippo. It does. Okay, so we should have had a touchdown because he should have walked into the end zone, and we shouldn't have had any question. But he also dove with his shoulder. Don't dive with your shoulder. Freaking put the ball in there right away. There's so many things that Heinicke should have done to not even put that in the hands of the ref. And now we're sitting here where we don't get touchdowns because of Taylor Heinicke, and we're blaming the refs. No, go into the end zone like a normal freaking human being.
Blaming the ref.
Of course you're blaming the... Oh, jeez Louise. It's never Heinicke's fault. Never Heinicke's fault.
So what was your question?
What do you think about the offense? What's your takeaways
I
from the
love the
offense?
offense. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Like I say,
There's
people
only
keep
one
getting
thing to
on.
love about the offense, and that was play calling that everybody wants to crap on.
I wasn't. That was the best. That was the best called game Scott Turner could have ever called outside of that quarterback league. Every play, I was like, you know what? That was drawn up perfectly. I mean, they was doing like double reverses, play action plays, the reverse of the card. He was opening it up. It should have never took that long. I think in the red zone, they need to figure out a way to get Terry more targets down there.
So he can drop another touchdown?
Line him up out wide by himself. Split him out wide by himself. Have him run like a slant or something, or like a fade or a backfield of fade or something like that. Because right now, they clearly don't believe in Ricky Seals-Jones in the red zone. I
Well,
think they don't really have.
they've gone to him twice now. They went to him against Marshawn Lattimore on a slant, and he got locked up there. And then they went on against
He was
Amos,
open
and there
on
was a
that
pass
one.
interference. He was not open against Lattimore. Lattimore was on
I'm
him like
talking about on
glue.
the second one.
Against the Amos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was wide
he was
open.
pass interference. But again, we shouldn't have had to worry about that play because it should have been a touchdown.
That's why I think in moments
to
like
Terry.
that, go get Sammons Reyes that they don't know nothing about. Put in John Bates they don't know nothing about. They're not going to account for them. They're going to think they're blocking. They're going to think in their mind, he's in a block. You can just easily, okay, he's in a block. Have him fake the block, try to get out and get him the ball. You got to give because they don't have no scouting report on Sammons Reyes or John Bates. They don't know him. So put him out there in red zone while Logan's out. But boy, I love the offense. Heineke, 10 carries for 95 yards out there slinging the ball around. He still was high some passes. But like I said, outside of that touchdown, that should have been a touchdown, Heineke played a great game. Heineke played a great game.
It wasn't a bad game. I wouldn't say it's a great game, but there was some good parts about it, of course. But that interception was horrible, terrible interception. The
Then you
dive
gotta
was horrible.
and the coaches gotta tell them, these are your options on this play. Ricky Seals or Terry. Outside of that, if it's not, run it. Or throw it away. Not Adam Humphries. Give
I think
Dak
that's his
some bump
problem.
too. Give Dak some bump.
I think his problem is that he locks onto people too much. Like he pre-snaps determines where he's going to go with the football, and when the defense shows another look that he thought, he goes there anyway, and then he ends up throwing a pick. I mean, he's thrown it to Terry for pickoffs because he's looking too long at him, or he's thrown it to Curtis Samuel, and now this time it was to Humphreys or something to the back of the end zone. He locks onto people pre-snap, and I think that's part of his problem.
Taylor Heineke is about to be playoff Heineke. He said it in his press conference that whenever he plays,
I think I'm done with you talking about press conferences. You've been talking about the press conferences for 6 weeks, and it hasn't been nothing.
He showed me something every week in his press conference. He said whenever he plays, like he doesn't have anything to lose, he plays his best football, and we all can agree with that. Because right now, he played like he had nothing to lose against the Packers. He balled out outside of that touchdown play. When he plays that way, if he was playing that way this entire time, we wouldn't have a losing record. There's no way you can convince me that we would. They should never have put him on that leash ever. Because you can't guard 10 carries for 95 yards. You can't guard that. I don't care who you are.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a few of those carries came in garbage time, but he does have legs. It's good. I like his legs, and he usually does well buying time in the pocket. Like the throw to Terry in the end zone that Terry dropped. I mean, that was all Taylor, buying time before he finally threw it. So I love him as far as a guy that could buy time in the pocket, also use his legs to get first downs. He just needs to not freaking slide because this should be 10 carries, 96 yards for a touchdown, right?
I mean, this week, I bet you he don't slide no more. How much you want? Well, he will slide, but I bet you see the Tampa Heineke. I bet you that. I bet you your butt's that. I bet you $5 you see Tampa Heineke from here on out. It's just a matter of hopefully he don't get hurt.
Well, let's see what happens with Taylor Heineke. It's
and we got Tampa coming up, so you're gonna get Tampa Heineke too.
You know what? This is a good segue. what are our chances of making the playoffs? And let me just go through this real quick. Denver is reeling. They're on 4 losses in a row. Panthers just got destroyed by the Giants. Eagles aren't a very good football team. Seahawks don't have Russell Wilson. Giants we've already beat. And, the Raiders are a decent team, but they're not some world beaters that are impossible to beat. And it should be interesting. So if we win all of those games,
which we will,
that puts us at 9-8. And then if we just upset Dallas once, that could put us at 10-7.
There's no upset. Just gonna beat them.
Either
way, no
upset. Whatever you want to say it.
You selling out.
10-7. Yeah, I'm selling out. I'm just looking at a 5-1 football team that has a really
who hasn't played anyone. That's what I'm looking at. Who hasn't played anyone.
I guess.
But it's a 95% chance we make it to the playoffs. You heard it here first. 95% chance we make it to the playoffs. I just believe that Taylor Heineke is about to go to playoff Heineke mode. Taylor Heineke, y'all heard it here first. Taylor Heineke is about to go on a run with this team. Terry's about to go. He's already on a run, but he's going to go on a run with this team. We're going to get Logan back. We're going to get Brandon back. I don't know about Curtis. We're going to get Cam Sims back, and we're going to be right back in this thing. We're going to beat Denver. We're going to come out, and we're going to beat Tampa, shock the world, and win all these games. We're going to split with Dallas, and we're going to kick everybody else butt. 10-7. Matter of fact, 11-6. Put it down now.
11-6.
10-7. But I'm going to 11-6. But I'm still gonna fall back on my 10-7. That's the most likelihood. But 11-6. Put it down. Heineke about to go on a run. We're about to light it up.
11-6. I'm writing that down too. 11-6 for Chris. No, I give us a 3% chance of making the playoffs. It's gonna be a rough time, but you
don't listen to him. If y'all stick with me,
I'm rooting for him. I'll be here all year long. I'm not giving up. I watched them be 2-7 last year and come back and win 5 out of their last 7 to make the playoffs, and then have the best performance against the Super Bowl champs. So I watched it last year. So I'm not counting them out by any means, but it's a slim chance right now, and we got to start performing.
Heineke.
All right. Well, it starts with the Broncos. So let's hop into this Broncos game real quick, shall we? All right, I'm pulling up the injuries now. Let's just take a look at what they got. Coach Vic Fangio says that Judy had a good practice, so it looks like he might be on pace to potentially play this week. Von Miller, again, did not practice. Garrett Bowles is questionable. Tyree Cleveland and Jamar Johnson, all questionable. So, and then they also put their tight end, Okwuegbunam, on IR. And yeah, so they're not super banged up. They got a decent amount of guys still around. Then let's take a look for us. What's the update here? Terry McLaurin was sidelined Wednesday's practice for a hamstring. Wet Switzer did not practice Wednesday for a neck injury. Brandon Sheriff, knee, was a limited practice participant. Ricky Seals-Jones, quadriceps, was limited. Antonio Gibson, shin, was limited. De'Ami Brown did not practice this week for a knee. Curtis Samuel did not practice for his groin. He's probably going to sit out until after the bye week. And then Logan Thomas is working on the sideline during Monday's practice. So he is, again, still not practicing. And then, of course, you still have, it looks like Cam Sims, Shaka Tony, William Jackson, Sam Cosmi are off the questionable list at this moment. They were put on the questionable for 26, but they're not put on for the 27th. So quite a bit of injuries piling up now for Washington. What do you think of the injuries? Who do you think is going to play, maybe not play, or who are you most worried about not playing for us?
Nobody. Everybody that played last week going to play this week.
Okay. So
they're going to play this week. They're going to grind this thing out. They're going to go into the bye week. We're going to get fresh, and it's going to be off to the races. I'm not worried. The same players that played last week will play this week. And we're going to get Cam Sims back. So We about to take off. Let's do it. We about to take off. Not worried. Worry for what? No worry here.
Best pronunciation ever. It was Okwabanamam. Sounds about right. It's perfect. It's actually how you say it in his dialect. No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know how he talks. But anyway, all right. So the Broncos, they played last Thursday, so that's basically kind of like having a bye week. It's going to be an interesting, as I said, they're on a 4-game losing streak. They really beat up on easy teams to start off 3-0. They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Giants, and the Jets. So 3 not very good football teams to go 3-0. Now they're going 0-4. What are you looking? What's your favorite matchup going into this game? What are you most interested in watching for Broncos versus Washington?
Ronald Darby versus Terry.
Ronald Darby versus Terry. It's not going to be 1-on-1. They're going to put a safety on top of the game.
Yeah, okay.
You think it's going to be 1-on-1?
They play a lot of zone too, so Terry should eat a lot.
Interesting. I hope so.
They play a lot
That'd
of
be
zone.
huge.
They put pass Sertan on them like idiots, like I think they're gonna do. I think they're gonna put pass Sertan on them and man them up, but you're gonna be dumb. Terry's gonna have a field day.
Ooh, the rookie Surtain going against. That's an interesting one. I like that one.
I'm interested in more so seeing the end of the game when Chase Young meets Von Miller. So hopefully Von Miller can give him some game and some moves, kind of like how Tom Holly did Joey Bosa. And we all seen it after the game. He was giving Joey Bosa some moves. Hopefully Von Miller teach Chase Young some moves. That's what I'm most interested in. So I hope that happens.
Yeah, I'm definitely most interested in the defensive side of the football. Are we actually going to cover? Because these guys have some decent receivers. Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, like KJ Hamler,
out for the
Tim
year.
Patrick. Oh, sorry. Is AJ Tim Patrick anyway? Like, they have some interesting guys. Noah Fant at tight end. They have a good offensive running backs as well with Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon. They got some interesting pieces over there. I'm interested to see, will the back end finally show some life against a team like the Broncos with Teddy Two Glove throwing the football? Well, and I want to see more of what we talked about earlier of the offense, or excuse me, not the offense, the defensive line and the secondary matching each other at the same time, playing defense like they should be. And I'm very interested to see that. You're like Republicans and Democrats of the Redskins. Impossible to agree with both. You just have to close your eyes and pick one. We're the Senate is what he's saying right now there, Chris. We're the Senate. But unlike the Senate, I feel like we have a common goal. All right? We want the Skins to win, right?
We're going to win. I believe.
All right, so on that note, what is your score prediction?
35. Ooh, 35-13.
35-13.
35-13. We come out like some dogs ready to kill something. This is going to be kind of like what we did to Dallas on Thanksgiving. Matter of fact, 35-17, I give him a field goal. It's going to be like what we did to Dallas on Thanksgiving. We're going to get a Chase Young signing for the first time. He'll dominate the game from beginning to end. Cameron Curl will care about 2 interceptions. We're going to win this game. The D-line roars. 35-17. Skins big. Taylor Heineke has the game of his life with 4 touchdowns, and Terry catches 3 of them. Now, how about that? Put that down. Write it down. Mark that down.
Chris, I'm writing it down right now. Chris, 35-13.
17.
35-17 Washington. I have, just to let you guys know, I actually have been perfect the last 6 weeks in a row of picking this Washington team. All right, I got the Chargers wrong. because the defense fooled me. I thought they were going to be good, and I picked the Chargers wrong, and that was unfortunate. After that, I have picked every game right for Washington since then. And I am picking the Washington football team to win this game 23-16. It's going to be the first time this season we held a team to under 20 points, and it's going to start some sort of a run going into the bye week. It's going to stall out against Tampa Bay. We're going to lose to Tampa Bay. But it's going to give us some life. It's going to give us some hope. It's going to make this locker room believe that we can get to the next level. And I think Teddy Two Gloves is a very conservative quarterback. He's not going to try to do too much. We're going to do just enough to beat the Broncos 23-16. And there is your final score. And we'll see how it goes. I'm picking us to win. First time in 3 weeks that I picked us to win. So go me. Hail, baby. And let's do it. All right. Around the NFC East. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on around the NFC East. So the Cowboys went on bye. They have the Vikings next week. What do you think? Did the Vikings beat the Cowboys there? Or are they going to – what do you think that matchup's going to be?
Vikings win.
Good game or a blowout?
Close game.
You couldn't do it. You couldn't do it.
It's a close game, but I just think I need them to lose. We win, they lose. All of a sudden, the floodgates open. I got the Vikings.
Washington 27-26. Yeah, we'll. I got the Cowboys in that game, but I'm rooting for those Vikings so hard. The Vikings are definitely an interesting, weird team, and we'll see if that offense can put enough pressure on the Cowboys' defense. But I do think that's going to be a high-scoring game, maybe 31-28, somewhere in there, 31-27 should come down to the wire. The Eagles go down to the Raiders 33-22 this week. They have the lowly Lions next week, and the Eagles are still an interesting team. Obviously the Raiders are a decent team, so that losing to them is not really a slap in the face. But I don't know. I feel like this Nick Sirianni hire is going to be a surprise for me included. I thought this hire was a joke when it happened, and I don't know. He's growing on me for some reason. I'm liking Nick Sirianni more and more. But anyway, what do you think about the Eagles next week against the Lions?
Lions going to win their first game.
Ooh, Lions win the first game. Well, that's definitely going to put a damper on Nick Sirianni if they lose to the Lions. I think everything I said.
I mean, they played. Look at who they played tough. They're going to win that game.
Spoiler. Oh, not a spoiler, but a little preview. The Blitz Predicts. Go subscribe to his channel already, if you haven't already. And he does game predictions and gives you ideas for betting ideas. So if you like to bet, go ahead and go to subscribe to him, because he's actually got a pretty good record, and I'm making some money off him too. So appreciate it. But I'm going to make a video tomorrow explaining why the Lions are winning on Sunday. Wow. So pick the Lions in that game. Fair enough. All right. Well, the last team of the NFC East, the Giants, defeat the reeling Panthers 25-3. Giants also have the Chiefs Monday night, maybe with no Mahomes. Are the Giants still alive?
No.
Nothing
alive
there?
For what? No.
Alive for the playoffs.
No.
They're sitting 2-5 just like us.
We have a division win. That's what people keep forgetting. We have a division win. That's why we sitting there. They don't have one yet. They don't have one yet. That's why we're not dead. We can literally sweep our division. We sweeping the Eagles. We sweeping the Giants. I think we're gonna split with Dallas. Personally, I think we're gonna split with Dallas. So let's go put it at what, 5-1.
That would put us 5-1 in the division. Yeah.
So we can be 5-1 in the division.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're finished. They don't have a division.
If they're finished, how do you feel about the Panthers right now?
I don't know when Christian McCaffrey coming back.
Here's another question for you. With the Giants going against the Chiefs, has the league figured out Mahomes?
But now has the league figured out Mahomes. I then told you a long time ago that the weapon that they had, number 10, is not the answer. But that's none of my business. I think listen, good. This is a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
What did I tell y'all? You take away Tyreek Hill's ability to go deep away, they're nothing. He's nothing. Teams know that. He can't run routes. I told y'all this. Now, when I say that they need another receiver that does know how to run routes and they can get open on their own, what are they looking for? Another receiver. They obviously don't believe in Mecole Hardman. They obviously don't believe in Byron Pringle. Josh Gordon, they didn't implement him enough. Mahomes out there trying to sling, ding, and figure out whatever he could. The coverage that the teams are playing against the Chiefs. Simple. Don't let them beat you deep. Tyreek Hill can't catch. So if he starts to get all the underneath, have at it. He's gonna drop one or two anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So what am I afraid of? It's nothing to fear from Mahomes and them. I'm about to take away Tyreek. You're not going deep. He can't do nothing else. So if I know that's what he's doing, if you can have Kelsey, he's not gonna beat me. He's your intermediate. You still don't even want to take the intermediate pass. You keep trying to make these big plays that we're not going to give you. So therefore, until the Kansas City Chiefs are able to get another receiver, they are not going to do anything. Because Tyreek Hill is not that. He's the most explosive guy in the NFL. He's the most explosive receiver in the NFL. That's what he is. He's not a top receiver. That's all I'm saying.
Right now he's 52 catches, 641 yards, and 5 touchdowns on the season. He has 2 games over 180 yards this year, and he's only averaging 12.3 yards per catch. So he's catching a lot of underneath stuff. But I still think Tyreek's a pretty good receiver. But I do understand the one thing though is that he's definitely dropping too many passes. I agree with that part. He's dropping too many passes. That's 100%. But I also agree that they have not figured out Mahomes. Mahomes is still going to be good. But I do find it interesting, the stats that I've looked up with Dan Marino. I've told you that already, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Dan Marino, he in his first 4 seasons, well, his first season similar to Mahomes, he only played half the year. He obviously Mahomes only played 1 game, but Marino did not play his full rookie season. The second year, he had 48 touchdowns, just like Mahomes had 50 touchdowns in that second year. The year after that, they both went down. Dan Marino had 30, and Mahomes had 26, a couple of injuries, but also just didn't play quite as well. Then the year after that, they both had over 40 touchdowns. Last year, I think he had, 42, 43, Mahomes did, and then, what's his name? Marino had 44. Now, Marino played, I believe, another 11 seasons. How many times? So in his first 3 full seasons, he threw over 30 touchdowns. In the next 11 games, how many times do you believe Marino threw 30 touchdowns or more in the next 11 years?
2, 3 times, 4 times.
Once. And people were saying that Dan Marino was was the best thing since sliced bread. Dan Marino was the best thrower of the football in NFL history, all this kind of stuff. And he came out firing, just like Mahomes did. But after that, their numbers really declined. And obviously, I think that Mahomes is going to get over 30 touchdowns more often, just because the nature of the game. The nature of the game is much different today, where they just want more points out of the offense. But what if we only see him ever get one more time ever to get 35 touchdowns? That would be pretty much of a disappointment, considering what we thought Mahomes was going to be for the rest of his career. And it's an interesting comparison, considering both of them were the next best thing since forever and came out like wildfire, like cannons out of a chute. So anyway, a cannonball out of a cannon, I should say. But anyway, it's an interesting thought process. I still think Mahomes is a beast. I still love Mahomes. I'd still take Mahomes to have great years for years to come. But that was just an interesting dynamic. Trade for Watson. Yeah, we talked about that at the beginning. Good point. Madden curse strikes again. Yep. Definitely the Madden curse. What up, Andrea? What up, DMB?
I will tell you this.
What up, Nadi?
If it is a chance that a team could sneak in, I would put a deal on the table.
Yeah, it looks like that Watson doesn't want to go anywhere else. That's what sucks. Mahomes' career is very similar to Russell's first 4 years. Russell Wilson?
No.
No, wait. Russell who?
That's the only one. Ain't no great quarterback named Russell.
I mean, it's not very similar, in my opinion.
Russell Wilson wasn't Russell Wilson until a couple of years after.
Yeah, I mean, he had a decent rookie year, but it wasn't Mahomes' first full seasons. Not even close. But anyway, what up, Armand? How's it going? All right. What up, Nadi? Hopefully you're having a good show over there. I don't know. Do you have anything going on tonight? No, Thursday night is your weekly Washington football. If you haven't subscribed to Nadi, go hit that subscribe button. They put some good stuff out there. Also, Watson's a top 5 QB in his mid-20s. Man, would he change our franchise forever? But his off-the-field stuff is alleged is terrible. Just terrible. Yep, we basically agree with all of that. And but Chris still wants to make the trade.
Not trade for him. I mean,
it's interesting.
If you can do what the Dolphins are doing, okay, we're going to make the trade. We agree, but we're putting it on hold. Well, I mean, what's wrong with that? I would do that. You wouldn't do that?
I would love Watson.
But I'm saying, if you do what the Dolphins are doing.
Waiting until
yeah, they got an agreement, but if it doesn't, they can keep everything they got. You wouldn't do that? I would do that.
Yeah. I don't hate the idea.
It's not like, okay, we agree to terms, we shake hands, but it's not it's not fine print until, okay, if it's all clear, you can have my assets. If it's not, the deal is off. That's perfect. I would do that right now. I got a great package for you. I give you Deron Payne. Mm-hmm. You can have Kendall Fuller. You're not touching nothing on offense. You can have Brent. I can't put Brandon Sheriff in there right now because he might be going by this. You can have Deron Payne. You can have Kendall Fuller. You can have 3 first-rounders and 1 second.
Say that again. How many again?
3 first and 1 second.
And who? Settle?
Deron. Matter of fact, Deron and Settle and Kendall.
That's a lot. The only thing that I don't like about the Watson thing, is, first of all, I don't like that we have to get rid of capital. But at the same time, I'm not completely opposed to that. But the other thing is we have to get rid of capital, and we're paying him a boatload of money. Like that
contract is team friendly.
It's $41 million next year.
Deron, you're not paying. You're giving him up.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter. It matters a ton.
Nobody has ever won a Super Bowl by paying more than 13.2% of your cap.
Tip.
What?
We have what we need. If we bring him here, we get him on the best contract you could possibly ask for right now. Best possible contract. I don't care. Listen, I'm at the point where I don't care about money. We already spent.
We're paying him $41 million next year, and we lose all of our first round picks. You do realize
we wasted $54 million, right? This offseason.
So wasting $54 million is a good idea to waste $41 million?
That's not wasting 41.
It's not a complete waste, but at the same time, it hurts.
No, it doesn't.
Nobody's ever won with paying their quarterback over 13.2% of the cap. Right, and there's only one team to ever win by paying your quarterback more than 13%, and that was last year. Tampa Bay was the first team to do it because they also had Rob Gronkowski on a discount, Leonard Fournette on a discount, and Antonio Brown on a huge discount. All 3 of these guys were huge discounts, but easily all of them could be paid more than $15 million a year. No, they don't. So if we don't get guys like that, we're not winning championships.
I don't care about money. We had the team already. You had Deshaun Watson. All you giving up is Deron Payne, Kendall Fuller, and Tim Settle. And you mean to tell me you can't win with adding Deshaun Watson?
We have one of the worst defenses in the league right now. Right
He
now, our
makes
defense is not good enough.
Our defense is moving on up. So I don't want to hear that. You get rid of I don't care. I don't care. Hey, I've seen enough of our quarterback. We haven't had a franchise quarterback. We haven't probably in history.
Yeah.
Give me Deshaun Watson. We get him on the best possible quarterback deal. Period. They just paid Dak Prescott getting $76 million this year. So
Hot take: Kenny Pickett's better than Deshaun Watson. Moving on.
And what else I was gonna say? And they 5-1.
Yeah.
So don't tell me about any contract. He gets the best contract you can possibly get for a 26-year-old. Deshaun Watson. No way, no how.
$41 million is a lot of money.
And Tanati, hopefully you still in here. The only reason why I want to trade Jonathan Allen, but I can't because but apparently from what I keep hearing, they might not pay Duran. So my point is, if you're not going to pay him, trade him. Do not let him walk out this door for nothing. That's my thing.
So that's the comparison to Russell Wilson you're talking about. Okay, interesting. I still like my comparison a little bit more to Dan Marino, but I see what you're saying now. But because the reason I like it more to Dan Marino was more individual stats and like how they were described to people. You're talking about more team stuff because Russell Wilson was good in the beginning, but he wasn't Mahomes good. It was really the Legion of Boom that got them to the Super Bowl.
And Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, and Marshawn Lynch. Whereas Mahomes basically dang near single-handedly got them all of those things because he was that good. So, but I see your comparison. That's fine. I still say he goes to Miami. Yeah, it's pretty much a done deal just because that's the only place he wants to go.
Well, have fun getting beat the crap out of because you don't got nothing over there.
See, will he though? So Watson would bring high-level free agents on a team-friendly deals because a lot of people would want to play with him. Not just like Brady's a whole different beast, dude. He really is because he's also like people underrate him as a teammate. Like he's a lot different in a lot of ways. But I don't know. We'll see with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson seems like a little weirdo in the head. So I don't know how much of a good teammate he is. Maybe he's a great teammate, but he's a little off the wall. And I don't know how many people will. I don't know.
I don't know if Taylor Heineke be willing to give a 4 if we did trade for him. I don't know how he would give us that 4.
Like he would have a choice. We're sending 3 firsts. Yeah, that would be funny of him. Are you kidding? Mahomes has the best receiving core in the league.
Okay, I'm not answering that comment.
He has the best tight end in the league for sure, and he has a great receiver for sure. I mean, if you don't think that Mahomes is all that in a bag of chips, I don't know what to talk to you about. But anyway, on to the power rankings. Our NFL power rankings week going into what? Week number 8? You want to start with number 5? You want me to start with number 5?
You can start.
Number 5. In my opinion, is the best team in the NFC. What? What are you laughing at?
My fault. I just turned on the Discord, and Roger has like the stupidest trade I ever seen in my life.
Oh, go for it.
He said, trade Chase Young and Deron Payne to the Raiders for Trayvon Moyrig, Marcus Mariota, a first and a third next year. You know how stupid that is?
All right, we're on to the power rankings. Back to the power rankings. All right, my best team right now in the AFC is my number 5, and I believe that is the Tennessee Titans. Number 5 on the list. They already beat the Bills. They just dismantled the Kansas City Chiefs. Derrick Henry is on another planet. I think they are the best team as of right now in the AFC, and I got them at number 5.
I'm going to disagree with you.
All right, so who's number 5?
But my number 5, I'm going to have to go with Lamont.
The Baltimore Ravens?
No, I'm not. I'm not going with Lamont. I'm gonna go with. I'm not going with them. I go with give me
It's tough.
give me I'll take Titans.
Titans number 5. All right, who do you got number 4?
Number 4, I have the number 4 I got give me give me 'cause I want to say this team is a surprise, but I'm gonna say Buffalo. I'm gonna go Buffalo.
Buffalo Soldier. All right. Buffalo Bills at number 4. I got the hated Dallas Cowboys sitting at number 4 with that high-powered offense. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Zeke Elliott, good offensive line, and Dan Quinn-led defense. Micah Parsons playing defensive end. I got them numero cuatro, Dallas Cowboys. On to my number 3. Number 3 is the team that just defeated us, the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers is a bad man, and they have a better defense than people give them credit for. And I know that they're going to struggle this week because they're going against the Cardinals and without Devontae Adams and Valdez-Scantling, but I got them sitting at number 3.
Cincinnati Bengals at number 3. I have Joe the Goat Burrow.
Joe
the Goat Burrow sitting at 3 on my list in the power rankings. The Cincinnati Bengals have proven me right in my offseason prediction.
I was wrong on the Bengals. I thought they were a year away. I thought defensively they weren't quite there yet, but the offense is doing plenty enough to keep up with teams, and they just dismantled the Ravens. So, all right. Who do you got at numero dos?
St. Louis.
The St. Louis Rams. The St. Louis Rams are good. St. Louis Rams are good. I got number 2, the leader of the NFC South, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the defending Super Bowl champions. I got them right there listed at number 2. They're 6-1. They just absolutely pooped on the Bears. The orange became brown. I like this Tampa Bay team, and they're going to go pretty far. And number 1 is
Cardinals.
The Washington Football Team. No, I was kidding. Fire up the band, right? No. The Arizona Cardinals. They're 7-0. They're
you might as well put 8-0 down.
Pretty much, because they got the Packers in a pretty tough situation. But those are my power rankings today. I do like Cincy. I know other people are saying Cincy right now is number 4. Martin says Dallas is number 2 or 3. I got him number 4. I agree with Chris. They got to play a little bit more people for now. But I know the Bengals, they woken a lot of people up against these Ravens team. But remember, the Ravens are still beat up. I think the Ravens were kind of overperforming.
Oh, you can't put Tampa in it in. Because they didn't beat nobody.
I like Tampa because they have the history, okay? Tampa's just legit.
Oh, well, they also have a history in which they lost to the Rams. So can you really put them ahead of the team they lost to?
I don't care.
Exactly. You know you're wrong. The Rams got snubbed by Tim. Put it out there. Rams were snubbed.
The Rams were snubbed. I'm not going to lie to you. I always forget about the Rams for some reason. But I snubbed the Rams last week, too. The Rams are a good football team. They're good. They're really good.
Got 2 teams in there that beat the Jaguars.
I'll put them at number 6, though, again. I think I put them at number 6 last year. But anyway, those are my top 5 power rankings. Those are Chris's top 5 power rankings. And we're moving on to the weekly predictions, where last week, Tim had a clean sweep. We picked 5 games differently last week. Browns, Broncos, Timmy won that one. Packers, Skins, Timmy won that one again. Titans versus Chiefs, Timmy boy up again. Falcons over the Dolphins. Yes, sir, you're right. Timmy boy again. And the Bengals, the person that you're putting at number 3 right now, Tim picked them to win. Tim's the GOAT. Tim is now up by 4 when he was down by 2. And we're on to the next week just so Tim could flop. I'm sure that's what's going to happen. But we're going to pick them and see what happens. And we both have the Green Bay Packers versus Arizona tomorrow night, rather. Who do you got, Cardinals or Packers?
Arizona.
I also have Arizona. One day I might get this pre-written down, and so I don't have to write them down as we go, but that week is not this week, so I still have to write things down as we go. So the Cardinals versus Green Bay, and we both have... So I have the Cardinals, you have Green Bay, right?
Yes, sir.
Wait, you didn't pick Green Bay. You picked the Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Carolina Panthers at the Atlanta Falcons.
Falcons.
The Panthers are coming back this week. I got the Panthers. They were the only team I picked wrong last week, but they're gonna figure it out for me this week. All right, we got the Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills.
Bills gonna blow them out.
I agree. All right, we got 49ers at Chicago.
That's a dumpster fire, but I'm gonna go with San Francisco.
Man, that is a dumpster fire. At Chicago. I'm feeling the Bears. Not sure why. Might be the bad pizza I ate earlier. But I'm taking Bears this week. I think the Bears are an upset. The Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns.
I got Pittsburgh.
Me too, actually.
They ain't gonna lose to Case Keenum.
I picked them last week, but the Browns last week, but I don't got them 2 in a row. The Eagles versus the Lions.
Lions, with the first win on Dan Campbell.
Well, because of Blitz Predicts, I'm also picking the Lions. I go with the Blitz. The Blitz. The Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts.
Hey, that's going to be a tough game because the Colts starting to come alive. But the Titans are just, I think they find their stride. I got Titans.
Me as well.
I'm pulling for the Colts, though. I really want them to win.
The Bengals versus the Jets.
Bengals.
I agree. All right, we got the Rams versus Houston.
Rams.
I got the Rams. Definitely not taking anything to do with the Texans. I hate what they're doing to my boy Davis Mills, but it is what it is. Oh, here we go. A rematch from last year. Bill Belichick versus Justin Herbert. Last year, Justin Herbert scored 0 points.
The Chargers.
I got the Chargers, too.
I hope the Patriots win. The Mac man.
All right, we got Jacksonville versus Seattle at Seattle.
That's a dumpster fire, too. I'm going to go Seattle.
Yeah, give me Seattle at home as well. I think. Part of me actually kind of wants to pick the Jags.
Yeah,
but I'm not
me too. It was like Trevor Lawrence or T-Law. It's like, I'd rather go with Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence or Geno.
Yeah. All right, we both got Washington, right?
Yep.
All right. Couple more games here. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at New Orleans.
Tampa.
Give me Tampa. Also. All right. And then we got Dallas Cowboys at Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Give me Dallas. It's a win-win for me here because I would love to see Dallas lose. But all right. Then last game, Monday night, the New York Giants versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I agree. So.
Wouldn't surprise me if the Giants won, though.
All right, so the ones we got different this week are Carolina and Atlanta. I got Carolina, you got Atlanta. I got the Bears, you got the Niners. And then I got Dallas and you got the Vikings. So guess what? Tim is guaranteed to have a lead next week, even if Chris sweeps him. But we all know Chris ain't sweeping Tim. That ain't
Maybe a tie.
No, I'm up by 4 right now.
How? I was up by 1.
I know, and then I got all 5 right last week.
I thought we only had 4.
No, I had the Browns, the Packers, the Titans, the Falcons, and the Bengals.
Browns, Titans, Packers,
Falcons, and Bengals.
All right.
So I'm up by 4. It's a close one, though, as far as we're not that far off when you think about how many games we've picked. Like we're pretty neck and neck when you think about it. But to answer, I think it was expert JK's question earlier, have I been watching the Wizards at all? No, I have. No, I know they were 2-1. Did they win again tonight?
I don't know.
They play like every Wednesday. So what are they doing right now? They're beating Boston currently 79-70. But yeah, I'm hearing Trez Harrell is doing really well. He has 20 points again tonight. 6th man coming off the bench, just killing it. Bradley Beal is Bradley Beal. He's got 15 points right now, 6 for 20. Kuzma's 4 for 10. They're an interesting team. I don't think they're really a contending team, but you know what? They could surprise some people and be like the Atlanta Hawks from last year. Like, I see them being a team like that where you don't really consider them to be contenders, but could surprise and all of a sudden end up in the Eastern Conference Finals, which would be huge for Washington in general. Maybe that would give them enough to bring in another star, potentially, but I don't know. What do you think about the Wizards so far?
What do you mean what I think? I told you that about already. But you don't listen.
Well, I just...
Oh, we don't have enough. Oh, I don't know. Oh, this, oh, that. Just listen to me when I talk.
We don't have enough. You think this is a championship roster?
It's a playoff roster.
It's a playoff roster. We were a playoff team last year, so what does that mean?
Be happy with that. Why you gotta have more? Be happy with that you're building something.
We are an interesting team. I don't know if we can say we're
Lakers are beating the crap out of Thunder.
I hope the Lions pull more trick plays. Yeah, I hope the Lions win. That would be funny. Even though... Did I pick the Lions? I did because of the Blitz predicts. I forgot. I almost forgot. All right. Ovi is trying to catch Gretzky. Yeah, I heard about that. He had another good game last year. Or last night, I think it was. Or 2 nights ago. I don't know. One of the two. I think it was 2 nights ago.
I know.
When they won 7-5. I think that was 2 nights ago. Warriors are 4-0. Go Warriors. And they don't even have, what's his name yet, do they?
Clay.
Yeah, they don't have Clay yet, right?
Nope.
Interesting.
Heineke.
Schroeder right now for the Celtics. Just looking at the Celtics team. Tatum, Horford, Robert Williams. Robert Williams is the rookie, right? No, that was that center they traded for from OKC, right? No, he was already picked by Boston. What am I thinking of Robert Williams? I'm getting confused with somebody else, clearly. But Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart.
Who else?
They have Jabari Parker. Wasn't he the first overall pick? No, second overall pick in 2014. I knew he was a high pick.
Warpath went live.
Schroeder. That's awesome. Good for the Warpath. Maybe go stop by over there. But, all right. Well, thank you, everybody in the chat that hung out with us. Another great episode. Thanks, Chris. We got Hassan Moore, Expert JK. Excuse me. Ahmad Brown. That's right. Andrea Eastman. Thanks for stopping by. Mato. Autismo. Leadfoot. DMB Sports Up. Nadi. Thanks for stopping on through. Autismo. Who else was here? The Blitz Predict stopped on by. Political Correct Redskin. Devin Copeland was here. What's up, man? Who else was here? Red Wings, of course. Luzza. Leslie Anderson. Buzz Shepherdson. Thanks very much for stopping on through. Outlaw King. DRG was here for a little bit. And thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us. And it was good. And I agree. Nice stream. Peace, guys. And we will see you again next week. We'll also see you again tomorrow. And keep a lookout for Madden streams. Again, I don't know if it's going to be this week or not, because I'm probably going to go pass out soon after this. I got to get up early. One of my coworkers is off work this week, so I kind of have to take on the full load. But maybe next week I may start hopping into some Madden streams and having some fun. So we'll see. And maybe I'll put a poll out there to see what people would like to do. But I'm late with all the negativity. What up, Roger? Yes, we avoided Roger's negativity. No, just kidding. Thanks so much for being here, Roger. As usual, I'm sure you'll watch it and enjoy. And until next time, see ya!